Thank you for tuning in to Chillcast. Rolling in with Chillcast.
Hey guys, welcome to the Michael Richards Sympathy Podcast. Today we'll talk about how Michael Richards didn't really do anything wrong. So you can start with Sam?
Well, you see, it's just a word.
Case dismissed. It's all fixed. Yes, sadly we are not actually the Michael Richards Sympathy Podcast.
I wish we were.
We are actually Chillcast, and we're here with Brian and Sam, who have been on the podcast before,
Yep.
and they've learned a lot. And I want you guys to tell me what you've learned over the years.
I've learned that you can't judge a book by its cover. Always wrap your willy. Never give 2 handshakes under the table because you'll never know what you get. And always look both ways before crossing the street.
Good. Brian?
It's a good way to get ketamine.
This podcast?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can't. That's not gonna fit. That's not an official thing.
But you asked me to be honest.
Yeah, but there's like honest and then there's honest. So we can't discuss ketamine stuff on the podcast. And I feel like you're trying to give me more work as an editor because I have to cut this stuff out.
Okay. Okay.
We'll talk later.
Yeah.
So Sam, tell me. You were just telling me that you did something with that woman in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, we can't talk about that here. That's confidential.
Okay, well, we gotta talk about something. We can't just not.
Let's talk about the election.
Let's not.
So, obviously, we all here voted red.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a Roman salute. Okay.
Yeah. Elon Musk, he did nothing wrong.
He's just autistic, as they say.
He's quirky.
He's just quirky like that. I think that's one of the most frustrating things ever is that people came to his defense and went, "He's just autistic." I'm like, you know how many autistic people don't have to worry about doing the Nazi salute on live television or in any situation? That's not like part of it. Mm-hmm. It's not like, oh, he sees something, he just repeats it. Monkey see, monkey do. Like, I feel like he has more sense than that.
Yeah, but fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. So maybe we're in the wrong,
Yeah, maybe we're just taking things too seriously,
What world are you living in?
Well, obviously the right one, because me and Alex here, we voted red.
Right is right.
Right is right.
No, that's only with Twix.
Oh, yeah.
Leftist tears.
Left or right Twix? It's an important question.
When was the last time I had a Twix? I don't know. Usually, anytime I would get Twix, isn't there like single packs? I don't remember the last time I had a Twix.
Halloween?
No.
Last Halloween.
You didn't get any candy at the haunted house you went to?
No, they didn't give us candy. They gave us like a religious pamphlet.
Oh, nice.
That
walk us through the event.
That would be funny. It's like and they scare you like really bad, and you're like, here's some candy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it kind of. So, it was me. So this haunted house, because I think we went before we met up with you guys at Pueblos, and or went after. I mean, and so we went to this haunted house because we wanted to do something spooky for Halloween. So it was me, my girlfriend, and her friend. We go to this haunted house called Hell's Gate, and we like all the ads. They don't really show anything of it. It's kind of just like it kind of looked a little scary. It looked like a big production. It had good reviews too. So we're like, let's go. I feel like it would be fun. And so the tickets in total was like $50 for 3. and there's like different like boarding times or something, and we get there and it's like pretty packed. Like there's a decent amount of people, and we get in line, and honestly, I was getting a little nervous. Well, kind of. It was more like my girlfriend was nervous, because it's like this could be scary, you know. This we don't know, because we get in the parking lot. Because when we get there in the parking lot, we could hear like explosions happening.
That wasn't part of it.
And and in line, like the guy, one of the guys working the line was like, I asked him, was like, is this that scary? He's like, it's not like that scary, but it'll make you think. And I was like, I told him, I was like, I love something that'll make me think. And so
It's not scary. It'll make you think.
yeah, it sends a message. So I'm like, okay. And so we get in this room. Everyone's lined up, and on the TV they play like one of the pre-show movies, and it's like this guy. He's like, "This is not for kids. This is spooky," and they kept reiterating that it's not for kids, and it's like more of like they'd say it's like about the end times, like the revelations.
It's like someone's being born out of wedlock.
Exactly like that. And so they tell us, this is like about revelation. They're like, just like keep an open mind, like think. And so we're like, damn. And so we get sent again we get sent outside because it's a church, and we get basically have to like walk around like the back alley back into this like little tunnel. And they bring us to another pre-show. But this one's outside, and it's like a big like screen, and they play a movie, and it starts by this like woman getting on this bus, and she sits next to this elderly woman, and she starts saying, they start talking, and the elderly woman's like, you should go to church, and like all this stuff, and the lady's like, no, like, she like as the lady's talking about like why she should go to church, she puts on her headphones, like, ooh. And like, also the lady, not the old one, but the lady was talking about like how she's like leaving, going on this business trip, and she's not going to see her kids. That's important. I'll come up later. And so then it cuts to her going into her hotel room and turning on the TV, and it's like chaos. Well, it's like, I guess it's to show like the horsemen of the apocalypse. So it talks about like Amazon is using your hand to pay for stuff instead of a credit card. Like Amazon's collecting your data, blah, 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 blah. Then it starts talking about like the war in Ukraine, all this stuff. It's like war footage. And it talks about like famine. And it was just like, it was a little out of touch. It seemed like a little conspiratory stuff, especially with the stuff about like Amazon. Mm-hmm. And then it cuts back to, because these are all like real news, like it's like actual news snippets that they took. And then it cuts to a like news channel, but it's like it's their actors, and the guy playing the news anchor is our tour guide, or is the guy that's like running, because it's like you walk through, and and you could tell he was like visibly embarrassed. He's like, all the other people were like being like, hey, that's you, and he's like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
And so he's like it's all going blah 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 blah, and then like a big explosion happens, and then the gate opens, and we're led through this like the scene. There's a bunch of like burning cars on fire, and it's actually like pretty good pyrotechnics, honestly. It's a bunch of like, there's a lot of kid actors being like, help me, help me.
Oh my gosh, that
would be kind of horrific, honestly.
Terrible.
And like one of like the actors like takes the tour guide, like, you gotta move, you gotta get out of here. And so we get rushed through, and I'm like, whoa, like this is like a thing happening. And so we get put in another room where they put another video on.
Yes,
but this is like I guess it's a time skip, and it's like it looked like a bunch of like communist propaganda, but they replaced the communist symbol with like, I guess it's kind of like the New World Order, where instead of like God, you follow them for salvation. and it's like there's this blonde kid there wearing like a suit with like gelled back hair, and he like, I mean, he wasn't the best actor. He kind of like, he kind of fumbled. Well, not fumbled, but he didn't do his lines that well.
No, what were his lines?
He was like, "Welcome everyone, you're gonna receive his gift," and so they start playing another. So they start playing the other video, and it's the news anchor who is still
The tour
our
guide?
tour guide talking to this guy who kind of who has like long black hair, a beard. I don't know if he's wearing a robe. I think he's wearing a suit. He's like, he's talking about like we should all join like the group. You'll be saved, and it's just like he's obviously like the Antichrist or for the Antichrist. Like that's like the vibe, like cult leader, and then like this TV like gets hacked, and it's like this guy. He's like, no, he's like, do not. That is Satan. Follow the Bible, and he starts saying like religious teachings, and then it gets uninterrupted. Like they go back to like the thing, and the news anchor is like, is this true? Is what he's saying true? Like, should we follow God? And the cult leader's guy's like, no.
No, how dare you
How
think
dare
of that?
you? And then
What the frick?
yeah, what the fuck? They should have just dropped that bomb.
the actor, the tour guide should have dropped it on the news broadcast.
Yeah, what the
It's the end times.
And
What?
so the doors then open,
Oh,
and we're
okay.
brought into a courtyard.
Oh.
And there is, it looks like the front of like I don't even know, like Roman architecture. And there's like a giant looks like a giant statue that looks like an Oscar award, but like holding a sword. And there's like a guillotine. And then so the cult leader guy, who's literally he has dread. He's a white guy with dreads, and he's wearing like a red robe. Comes out. He's like talking about like giving people the gift. And it's like, come here and receive the gift. And then this lady who I guess was planted into the crowd gets up on stage and is like, please, I need to find my kids. He's like, okay, come in here and receive the gift. And so she like walks in, because there's a door. She walks into the door, and then I forget, like some shit happens, and then a bunch of like people that look like they're wearing like Nazi uniforms come out, and they're like, and then like his voice goes like demonic. This is a different guy. I forgot. There's like a general looking guy, and his voice goes demonic. He's like, you will receive the gift. And then on the other side of this courtyard, there was like a curtain, and the curtain opens, and a bunch of people run out wearing like concentration camp boy in the striped pajama stuff, like outfits.
Jeez.
And they're like all yelling. There's like guards, and they're yelling like, she has a Bible, she has a Bible. And
This is insane.
oh yeah, dude, my jaw dropped when I saw like the concentration stuff, because I guess they're putting Christians in camps in
this new world order.
in this new world order, exactly. And so you find they're like, she has a Bible, and one of the there's like an older guy. She's like, don't hurt her, blah blah blah. And he's like, will you die for this? He's like, yes. And then they shoot him, and he falls on the ground. And the best part is that the courtyard's grass, and it's just a bunch of fall pads on the ground, like not hidden at all. And then they're like, okay, like you're gonna die for this, and they take the woman up to the guillotine. And what ends up happening is they chop her head off. I mean, they do kind of a pretty good effect of like,
They have
you
someone's
see
head
the
there.
guillotine go down, and then a fake head comes down off a chute.
Whoa.
And then they bring the other prisoners up, and they're like, kneel to the symbol, like kneel. And then there's like, I don't even know how to describe it. There's like a room kind of above to the left, because it's like a 2-story building. And then like a window opens, and these two guys that kind of look like Jedis, I guess they're priests.
Okay.
And then they
We'll
start
handle
saying
this.
like follow Jesus, follow God, and they say like a religious passage, and then the army guy's like, shoot him, kill him, and then
And
there's
they
like,
pull out lightsabers?
no, but better. So there's like a little fire next to the statue, and then the fire roars up as they try shooting at him, and then all the soldiers fall on the ground dead.
It's insane. There's just so, you know what? He wasn't lying when he said it'll make you think.
Yeah, I was thinking. And so we get rushed into a small room.
For more
This
films.
is just still the pre-show, or is this?
No, this is the show. No, oh my god.
Sorry.
But there's the haunted house. There's not really it's like a haunted house, but it's not really a haunted house because it's more just
It's just a giant like propaganda sermon.
Another dimension of
almost.
sight and sound.
honestly, that's kind of what it felt like.
It's like a 4D experience.
Yeah, because there's no one has jumped out of at us yet. So we get brought into this like command center, and there's this old ass lady like on a computer be like, "Oh, we found him. We found the hacker from earlier on the TV show." They're like, "We found him. Like we're sending out units to get him." And then like this army guy is like, "Okay, everyone," and he's like talking about how we're gonna receive the gift, us, and he gives this whole spiel. And then that white lady from earlier is like talking to him how she needs to find her kids. She's like, "I'm looking for my kids, my husband." Oh yeah, I think she said something about her husband. And then all of a sudden they bring in the hacker, and it turns out that the woman's husband is the hacker.
Dude, that's messed up.
Yeah, because I forgot to say because it's the rapture. People have been raptured. So the kids got raptured, but she doesn't know it. And so the husband's like, "Oh, I know, I follow God now, blah, 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 blah. Like, I love God. You got to follow, like, come with me and follow God." And she's like, "No, like, the evil," oh, yeah, I forgot to say, oh my God, the best part. She's like, "The evil Christians took our kids." That was a big point. The evil Christians and how they took her kids. And she's like, and poor, I think his name was Hugo, but it sounded like Ugo. Poor Ugo. The lady's like, "No, I'm not going to follow God." And the soldier guy's like, "Good." And they take Hugo over and they shoot him. And he falls on a fall pad, like kind of basically off screen. Like, there's like I don't even know how to describe it. There's like a ledge where he falls. And then they're like, "Okay, guys, come on." And then, like, they lift open, like, this garage, and it's like a war zone. Like, there's people on tanks shooting. You hear, like, "Man down, man down."
Oh, my
There's a bunch of fog. It's loud as hell. And then, so we're going, and honestly, that whole part is, like, 15 seconds. It's very short. It's, like, probably, like, the size of this room, but there's, like, tanks and, like, shooting. There's literally, like, people firing a fake minigun at a tank. And then, like, we walk up this ramp into this room. It's, the room, I guess, is supposed to be purgatory. And this is, like, the actual haunted house part, because there's, like, kids in, like, Halloween costumes jumping out at you. The whole time I was just cheesing, because I was like, this is crazy. And, we get brought into another room.
Dude.
Best flipping part.
The tour guide's like, "Don't worry, this gets even better like 10 hours in. It's okay."
Oh, yeah, and this thing is like an hour long.
Oh my gosh.
So, like, this is a good 45 minutes in. And so, we get into this room, and I guess we're at, like, the gates of heaven. We're about to get judged. And the one thing that's weird is the tour guide, like, put this girl, like, specifically next to me. And, like, purposely, like, split the thing. I was like, what's happening? But like, this girl is dressed up as an angel is like, I forgot what his name is, like John Johnson. And this guy goes, like, "That's me, God." Or whoever is at the gate, I think it's God, I don't remember. He's like, "I gave to the church. I went to church every Sunday. Like, I volunteered, blah, blah, blah." He's like, "That wasn't good enough. Like, you didn't have Jesus in your heart. And now you will be sent to hell." And next to where he's like perched up on like a stage, and next to the stage there's these two doors with like these two like hooded figures, and they open up the door and they take him in, and the fire like roars up and he screams as loud as possible, "Ah!" And he disappears. I was like, whoa. It was honestly a pretty solid effect. And then I think her name was the lady who's looking for her kids. She gets up. He's like, "I'm sorry, God. Like, I was with, like, I was as holy as Hugo," like, waffling how she shouldn't be, like, killed or sent to hell. She's like, He's like, that's not good enough. Angels, take them away. And then she gets brought to hell, and same thing. The angels, the hooded angels come out, take her into the back room, or into the side room. The gates close, and fire roars up. She screams as loud as humanly possible. And then God was like, everyone here, like, you didn't follow God. Like, this is why you will be sent to hell. And then there's a lot more, but I'm keeping it brief. And then the hooded figures, like, start, like, walking, looking at everyone in the crowd. And I'm like, whoa. And they slow down, they're coming to me. And they take the girl next to me to the left. So she was another plant.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
gosh.
And she gets up and she screams as loud as possible in my left ear.
Oh.
So she gets taken back into hell. So she gets sent to the pits of hell.
Straight to hell.
And then we get ushered out into another room where
More
we watch
movies?
a video.
Yes.
Another video.
And this is the backstory of Hugo.
Oh, the deep lore.
Yeah, and so it's like the day that his kids get raptured, and it's like him like crying on his kid's Spider-Man bed, like
Dang.
being like,
Okay, you gotta tell me acting. What's the level like?
Because we already got the guy from earlier down here. Where's Hugo? Hugo or whatever.
Ugo's up there.
Okay.
Because he was kind of like, he was a bigger part.
Mm-hmm.
He's a main character, dare I say. And there's like scenes of him like sitting next to a swing, like pushing and being sad for his kid being gone. No, and while he's crying on the Spider-Man bed, he finds a Bible. And he starts reading, and he's like, after this day, I've devoted my life to God. And then it cuts like him in like, I guess, heaven with his kids, and like a guy dressed up as God. And then the whole time I was trying not to laugh. Because it's like kind of like a sentimental. And then I guess a pastor comes in, he's like, okay, everyone close your eyes. And he reads like, does like a little sermon. He's like, if this changed your mind, like, say it now. Like, if you want to devote your life to Christ. And I was like, do I raise my hand? Like, that would be pretty funny. But I refrained. I didn't want to, like, to draw a bunch of attention.
Your girlfriend just like puts her hand on your arm.
Yeah.
Stop, Sam, stop.
And then we get, and then they give us clipboards to fill out a survey.
Yes, that's the most immersive part. If I'm, in my opinion,
And then
the survey.
And then that was it. We left. I was freshly shaven, and so the lady handed me 2 pamphlets. She's like, "Oh, here's a pamphlet, and you have friends. Give them to your friends. Like, I'm gonna like go to school and hand all my buddies these pamphlets to
Please do.
start going to church." I forgot to say it's a Baptist church.
That's
So
what I was
They were
picking
doing
up
this
on.
haunted house.
Yeah,
This is
we should go next
Like-
year.
We need to go next year. We're not should we are going next year. That's what's gonna happen.
They have like a couple videos on their Facebook that shows what happens. That will give you like a little more like information.
so. What I don't get, what I don't get is the fact that it's supposed to be like, oh, like this is what the world would be like if like everyone, like if everyone just like threw away Christianity, the New World Order, and whatever. And then they proceed to show when you're about to at the gates of heaven, and there's like, you didn't do this, you're going to hell.
Yeah, and even like one guy like
With,
I
like-
thought like, oh, he went to he said he went to church every Sunday. He loved God. He did stuff for God. And apparently that wasn't enough. I'm like, well, what are you
That's
supposed to do?
yeah. That's literally the
the only
opposite
thing.
message they're trying to send with having the like, oh, look at the world without Christianity. Oh, look what
Yeah,
happens when you
you're
get to
not
the
doing
gates of heaven.
enough.
Okay, I understand like, oh, like getting to the gates of heaven and being like, oh, you didn't do enough. But Lily said what usually what they
Well,
say to do.
Yeah, well, I guess if you're already like holier than thou, you would have been raptured.
Oh yeah.
'Cause, well, yeah, when that happens, you get like kids and stuff gets sent straight to heaven, and I guess whoever's not the sinner.
I will say like most like Baptist churches are like, Baptist.
Those are usually the intense ones.
They're usually the intense ones, usually the more strict churches.
Yeah.
Like I went to a Baptist church for a funeral as a kid, and it was one of those. The service was led by one of those preachers that like screams and yells the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And I was a little kid.
Yeah, I
Brian
was
was
there
little too, and he was obviously younger than me, like way younger, and we get in there and I'm like, I'm distraught, I'm crying because I love this person. It's a funeral, and then like I hear the preacher get up, okay, preacher Johnson will be coming up in just one moment, and then he gets up and he was like, oh my gosh, and he's like, she will love the world, and he's like yelling and screaming, and I had never been exposed to that kind of preaching before. I'm not saying that it's like bad or anything, but like it just scared the crap out of me because it's just this guy yelling and screaming, and I was like legitimately frightened, and I was so scared, like I was no longer sad, I was just scared.
Yeah.
And then Brian, what happened?
What did happen to me?
You poop your pants.
Not
Something like
not
that.
quite. He left. We left the funeral. We were heading out, and Brian walked over to some trees and just started throwing up.
I was that scared.
He was that scared.
Oh my god. Oh, can't say Lord's name in vain. Sorry.
Okay, we gotta go to the haunted house real quick.
Order.
Will you die for this, Sam?
Will you die for the Chillcast?
I forgot. Is it Christianity or Catholicism where as long as you like say that Jesus was like died for your sins and is like the Son of God, you get to go to heaven? I forgot.
I mean,
My plan that like if that's the right religion, like it's kind of a gamble, but right when I'm done, I'll be like, okay, Jesus is the right, like, blah 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 blah.
on your
code.
deathbed, like,
Oh yeah, because I mean, why not?
I'm always worried that when I die, it's gonna be some ancient Egyptian religion. It will just be
Oh.
an ancient Egypt hell because we were born too late for that religion to be practiced more enough, and we didn't practice it. You know what I mean? Like, or what's even worse is like we know a lot about ancient Egyptian history, right? And some of the religious texts and stuff like that. What if it's just some random smaller sect of like the prevailing Egyptian religion from a certain era that was not recorded at all?
Yeah,
There was
you-
no
you-
chance
you
for us to
lucked
practice
out.
it. It was like we're supposed to be praying to Anubis this whole time.
Well, that's not. I feel like that's not our fault.
But like I always see those memes where it's like, oh, it turns out actually it's Egyptian,
Or it's
ancient
shiny.
Egyptian. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite videos. When you get to heaven and it turns out it's Chinese. I mean, I'm not. There's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't expect it to be Chinese.
I love. What if it's just like some guy creates a religion, and it turns out he was right. He just guessed,
Oh,
or maybe like he doesn't know it, but he's like the Jesus figure of his own religion, and he's like
the actual Son of God.
his memory was wiped, and like he has a subtle feeling that he needs to do something, but he doesn't know what.
I feel like that's how like cults start. You know.
Yeah, that is exactly how cults start. Some guy gets really egotistical, and then he's like, "Actually, I just want everyone to think I'm the right person in every facet of life, and I'm gonna, control people and convince people they don't need anyone else and they don't need their family, and probably get a bunch of people to have sex with me, and then tell them that they're gay." That's a real thing, by the way.
Jesse.
I am the
Peterson.
Glimble Stomp. Okay.
No, the Kool-Aid guy.
Oh, I didn't know.
Cool.
He told everyone was gay. I know he did like fake miracles, but I didn't know the gay stuff.
If I'm right, he would have sex with men and then tell them that they were gay and not him, and that they're like, they were like they were gay but not him.
Well, that's like the old like Roman philosophy. The top wasn't gay. Whoever was receiving was the gay one.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, for the future.
Yeah, good for the future.
Yeah.
But I just love that it's like he's like so fragile that he's like, no, I can enjoy this and it's not gay. It because I'm like the second coming, so like it's fine.
And they all died. They all got ligma.
Yeah.
Who's
But that-
Steve Jobs?
What? It's a good meme. It's a good meme. But yeah,
What if like a small little like a dwarf person fell from the ceiling right now?
I would lose my mind.
I would cry a little. I might throw up.
Would he throw up?
Yeah.
You know, we went to youth group haunted houses growing up, and they pale in comparison to your experience.
I thought like I honestly just thought it was going to be like one of those like kind of like yeah, where like there's like people in costumes like and they do it just like raise money, but no, it was a full experience.
It was an immersive experience.
It made you think.
It did
I
make
was
you think.
thinking. I mean, I'm still thinking now. I'm telling
Think-
it now.
Was I right? Was I wrong?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like one of those things like you sign a waiver and they're allowed to poke you on the shoulder. You know.
Oh yeah.
Just
Well,
like
the ones we did or we went to growing up were always ran by like the older kids and the youth, and they like it was kind of hit or miss. And what they would do is they would like a room smaller than this, like a very small conference room. they set up a bunch of like black curtains and make like a
Yeah.
maze, and they would just have people like behind the curtains. They wouldn't even touch you. They just sit behind the curtains and like be playing spooky music. And they go, "Ah!" Like just scream loudly, like just like they'd be like, "Okay, someone's coming in." Okay, ah, and like they would just like scream. That was it. It was just there were no costume. I mean, people wore costumes, but that wasn't part of the haunted house. It was just like people screaming, and that was it. That was the haunted house.
I forgot to say, but as we're leaving, the family in front of us.
I got shot.
No. But I heard him say, like, isn't this so much better than Netherworld?
What is Netherworld?
You don't know what Netherworld is?
I don't.
It's probably like one of the most famous haunted houses in Georgia.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's.
Huh.
I don't know if it's close. I
is it
forget
better
where.
than Netherworld?
I don't know. No, there's like. It was like. No, they didn't say it was better than Netherworld because I guess one of the kids wanted to go to Netherworld, but they're like, well, aren't you happy that we didn't go to Netherworld? I'm like.
I feel one with my religion
Yeah.
now. You know. You know, I mean, if it's anybody that's getting persecuted nowadays, it's definitely Christians.
Oh, yeah.
You can't be Christian anywhere. It's like
The woke
illegal.
will get you. Well, now that DJT's in office, they're like, I'm not a Christian. I was born Catholic, so.
Like genetically or.
Wait, what?
metaphorically.
You know
I
what
got the Catholic gene.
means?
I was raised. Well, I didn't say I was born Catholic. I was raised Catholic. Sorry, slipped the tongue.
No, it was like you're not. Wait, what?
What?
I'm confused. Isn't it Catholic and Christian?
No, Catholicism and Christian are
They're split from each other.
yeah. They're
Well,
technically
yeah,
different.
but they're essentially like people who are. But no, they do the exact same thing.
No.
Not the exact same things, but like
they have different.
they know
practices
they're
and,
like
they're different
Jesus
teachings.
is the thing.
I believe Catholicism sees Mary as more of like a religious figure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. It's yes, it has some of the same figures, but it's technically split. Because it's split. I don't have the right words to
It's
describe
still
it,
like, it's a different branch of like the
but overarching. Like
yeah.
so, they're like Catholicism was the originator, right?
Well, yeah.
And then like pilgrims.
Well, technically Judaism was the original.
That's right,
If we're
that's right.
talking like
if we're going back.
Wait.
Yeah.
But like okay, so like Catholicism exists, right? And then pilgrims Puritans split off from Catholicism.
No, I believe it's way before that.
Really?
Way like we're talking like back in the day when there was like 5 different types of popes.
Oh.
I don't think Christians see the Pope as like a figure.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't.
Catholics look at the
But-
Pope.
Well, I know there's one that like you're allowed to do crack and one you're not allowed to do crack.
Exactly.
So like that's
think
how
that's,
Brian, if that helps,
No,
that's how I keep it
because-
separate.
Well, no, I mean I know
The third
Catholics,
day
like,
he did crack.
like Mary as more of a religious figure, but it's just like, but there's also Jesus.
I mean, yeah,
It's
that's
like,
every.
So like, but that's why it's called like.
But
Christian, so
in
it's
like,
Christ and,
I was going somewhere
I
with
was
this.
confused.
Something
I
about.
forgot what the overarching term was.
I see. I mean, like when someone says, "Oh, I'm a Catholic," you know what that means. But it's like when someone says, "I'm Christian," that like literally you could be like if you really want to know, you'd be like, "Okay, which type?" But no, like when someone says, "I'm a Christian," they just say, "I'm a Christian," and they could be, at least how I say, they could be Catholic, they could be a Baptist, they could be like it's weird. I don't know.
No, because I see a lot of Christian versus Catholic arguing on Twitter now, especially since Twitter is turned into X,
Yeah,
Formerly Twitter,
formerly Twitter. Sorry.
right under the X.
I think it's. I've been trying not to get too melancholy with certain things. I was gonna say earlier when you said DJT, my first thought was you were talking about a DJ, and I was like, what? It took me like 1 millisecond to realize you meant Donald Trump. I was like, DJT? Who's DJT? It's like,
I was like-
is that like DJ Khaled? Like who?
Yeah, I was confused, and I heard like, oh wait, J. It could be a middle initial. Oh.
I
But
think
yeah.
it's fun to say DJT.
DJT. Did you see that he recently ended a tweet with a lowercase t? That's his new calling card. Little T.
Lil T.
Little T.
Little T.
Lil Tay.
Lil Tay.
Remember Lil Tay?
Huh?
Who's Lil Tay?
You don't know who Lil Tay is?
I don't know who Little Tay is.
Everyone, look up Lil Tay.
Is he a rapper?
She.
Oh, is she a rapper?
Lil Tay Money Way. Good song.
Is she as talented as that one rapper who went, now they up in heaven.
Dude,
now
I was
they-"
singing that last night, and And it's like
You were just singing it last night.
I forgot why. I think I was in like a Discord call. I think someone said like they're up there or something. I was like, now they're up in heaven.
Now they're up in heaven. I feel so sad.
I know what it woke.
And that's where you cut back in.
Damn woke.
That-
So, what were you saying?
Just lost, and I kind of want to see Hugo's performance in the haunted house next year.
Oh, the funniest part was my girlfriend in half the videos, because some of them were like filmed in like fields. She's like, I know exactly where that is, because it was all local. You know that Wendy's that like the sign is like there's nothing there, but you can tell it was a Wendy's sign.
Yeah.
That's where the bus was parked when she was getting on, and we're like, oh, I know exactly where that is. It's down the street. Now
Nice.
they're up in heaven.
Now they're up in heaven.
I think I got a good picture to show everyone. Gotta find it.
Shoot. I forgot to do
Hold
it
on.
in Texas.
Hold on.
We got time.
Okay.
Who is this guy? I don't know who this is.
If anyone knows who that is,
Contact me. I don't know.
Did I ever tell you about one of the first thumbnails we ever made for the podcast? It was a picture of one of my friend's older brothers, and it was just like almost looked like a mugshot of him, but it was just like a serious picture of him. And next to it, we put like, "This man is wanted by the police. If you have any information, please reach out." And then like a few days later, he was like a kind of like a peer mentor in one of my classes. He was like, "Dude, what? People are asking me questions now. Like, why did you post that? Like, we're just trying to get the word out." And he's like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, it was a good thumbnail.
Like, our school meme page, I made this joke. There was this guy in our class that we would kind of just like, I don't even know. I don't know why I made it, but it was like a rest in peace for him that I made. And then it's got sent to one of my other friends, and then he ran the school meme page and he posted it on there with like a rest in peace. I just as a complete joke. And like the next couple days I heard people like, or like he was saying like, people keep saying I'm dead. Because some of the comments are like, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Fly high.
Before I got to the high school I went to, like the year before I got there, this thing happened. This one guy made a meme about the principal like committing war crimes, and like posted like I think like wrote out like that he committed war crimes and is wanted for treason like in Arabic on like a piece of paper with like a big like gray picture of him, like it's like printed black and white, and he put it up all over the school, and like the principal thought it was really funny. And he was like the administrators like brought the kid into the office, and they went, "Okay, you're getting suspended for a few days, and you're going to write a letter saying you're sorry for doing all that, because we translated what it says and that's not funny." And then they left the room or something like that, and the principal it was just him, the kid, and the principal. And the principal was like, "Hey, I thought that was pretty funny. I thought that was really funny, but they're making me suspend you. So just know there's no hard feelings." And they like shook hands.
respect.
But I just think that's so funny because like you can't you don't know what it says immediately unless they're bilingual, and so it's like what is this? And then you have to translate
I wonder
it.
if they actually did translate it or they just like
They
guessed.
assumed. You think they
Yeah.
assumed it was bad?
It could have just been like,
The principal was the only one who translated it. So.
and he was like, and they're like, oh, what's so funny? Nah.
Nah.
And he
You wouldn't
snitched.
get
You
it.
wouldn't get it.
You wouldn't get it. Oh, Joker 2. Have you seen Joker 2?
I heard it was terrible.
It was an atrocity.
I heard doesn't he have gay sex?
No.
What?
Oh, wait. Yeah.
That's all I remember.
He gets not willfully.
Mm.
It's not a I don't know if
It's not like
the,
a laugh out loud Rafflecopter moment.
no, it's really not. It's
Oh, dang it.
Do I look like I'm Rafflecoptering, son?
Brian, can I spoil it for you?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not gonna watch it.
You shouldn't. And honestly, it's a huge disappointment. I've heard rumors that like a lot of showings, like in theaters, like people were just like halfway through like stop singing, like they just started yelling stop singing, because it's not like it's supposed to be a musical, but like it's almost like they didn't want to commit all the way.
Yeah.
It's more of like it feels like it's just like Joaquin Phoenix is like unreleased poetry, and he's just like singing it, like he's just projecting it in
Didn't
scenes.
like the director say he purposely made it bad so like incels didn't like like look at it as like a
hero thing.
Yeah.
Like they didn't want to glorify him.
Yeah, they didn't want. Yeah, that
Which
makes
is
sense.
really bad because it's like there was a way to do that without making it such a bad movie. Like I don't know how else to say it. Like I know that sounds like, oh, I can make it better, but I'm just saying like Todd Phillips is very capable of making a good, like he could have easily kept the kind of the ending but expanded it a little more, because there's only so many there's literally only so many places they actually go in the film. It's like only a few locations, and it feels very bottled up, and like it feels like nothing. It just feels like the first movie didn't even have to be released. It feels like they run through the exact plot of the first movie in the court scenes. They explain the entire plot of the first movie.
Isn't like animated at the beginning?
It is.
I heard like the beginning was like the animated part at the beginning was like good.
It was, and it was getting me all excited. I was like, this is really cool. Like, I've never seen a movie open like this, and I get what they're saying about his shadow being the real personality or whatever. That's pretty clever. And then it just went like downhill from there. And yeah, it was just such a disappointing movie. But to answer your question, yes, he does, and it's a bunch of prison guards.
Oh, you know what movie I saw? Me and my girlfriend watched, and we were like excited because the trailers made it look really good. The movie Trap.
I saw that movie.
It sucked. And it's funny. Every person I've talked to, I brought that movie up. They've been like, "Dude, that movie was awful."
It was made just so that way his daughter could release music.
I was trying so hard during it to be like, to enjoy it, but just like,
because it's a cool concept.
I think the first half was pretty good. Then the rest just, it was just, some of it was just stupid.
I saw it. It was funny. Like, how he's trying to be all clever.
Yeah.
And like do all these things to help him get through, and like steal identification and figure out what entrances and where to go and all this stuff, and all this like clever distraction, almost like Hitman stuff, like a Hitman games, like distraction. But all that stuff he didn't really feel like it mattered, because he could just walk around anywhere with like no consequence. Like it never felt like there were ever consequences to anything he did. Like he didn't need to get that girl third-degree burns at one point at like the fryer machine to do what he did. He could have easily just slipped and grabbed like the apron, or said, "Oh, I'm late for work," and they're like, "Oh, I guess I don't. Are you new? Oh, yeah, I'm a new hire." Like he could have done anything else but that, but he chose to I guess maybe because he's sadistic or whatever. But like, there's like a lot of stuff that he did that was so unnecessary by the end of the film, because he just got out. Like I don't know how else to say it. It's just like
he gets untrapped. He just leaves.
I thought the whole film was going to take place at the stadium.
It should have. The whole ending part where like,
oh, I know what you're talking
where
about.
she's
now.
like in the bathroom, like, and she's like, "You gotta go here.
Hey, Chad, come on, help out.
If you know where this is,
help this man."
And he's like banging. He's like, and then the twist ending was like, oh, the wife was the one that figured it out.
Who set the trap
on accident too, because like she thought he was cheating.
I'm surprised it was a bad movie, because this is the same guy who did the Avatar: Last Airbender movie, and that was a great film.
And
you can leave now.
God,
Yeah,
doors over.
The other movie about it's the other M. Night Shyamalan movie that I watched when I was younger. I can never remember the name, but it's like, is it Paul Gianni? I think is his name.
Paul Giamatti.
I forget. But he's like a janitor. He works at like a motel, and then like there's like some like not ancient, but there's like some like mermaid-esque like water lady that comes out of the pool, and then these evil like black monsters also come out of the pool, and they have to like stop them. It's some bullshit. Some bullshit. I just remembered watching it. Anytime I think of M. Night Shyamalan, I think of that movie.
One of my favorite films of his is Signs.
Oh, it's not Mark. Is it Mark Wahlberg?
No, some other guy, and there's the main guy, and then there's Joaquin Phoenix, like young Joaquin Phoenix, like very young Joaquin Phoenix. My favorite part is because like it was pretty good in building like the tone of like this is like a real alien invasion, like this is really cool. Like it was very gradual and stuff until you actually see the aliens, and it just takes you out of it. But there's a part like I laughed out loud. Brian was in the room when I was watching it. I was like, I had to pause it. It was so funny. It's a broadcast, right? And like Joaquin Phoenix is watching the TV in this like broom closet, and he's like watching it intently. And it's like new footage released of the aliens, and it's just like a kid birthday party, and they're like, "Mom, Dad," but it's like in Spanish, like, "Look over there, something's over there," and the camera pans over, and it just shows like an alien like doing the Bigfoot walk, and it goes, it has like a massive sting in the movie, like boom, and then Joaquin Phoenix goes, "Oh." Whoa! Like oh! It's just
And
so,
it looks like
just takes
it
you
looks
out
like
of it
like it was just made like
in Blender.
it looked like a Gmod mod.
It looked like an NPC.
What's the one with Mark Wahlberg and it's the plant? Like the whole thing is like the plants are trying to kill humans.
Transformers,
No.
Plants vs Zombies.
No.
Minecraft,
It's
Star Wars.
No, it's Marky Mark.
Marky Mark and the Funky Plants.
Yeah, and like the whole thing is like, hold on, I think it's M. Night Shyamalan. Mark Wahlberg plant movie. The Happening.
The
You
Happening.
don't know about The Happening?
I do not know about The Happening.
You've never seen? There's like a scene where he's like outside. He's like, oh my god. I
So
think like, the
specific.
joke is like he looks confused the whole movie. Wait, who directed the Fappening?
What?
That's where the Fappening came from. I'm pretty sure.
The what?
You know the Fappening.
Brian was a part of it.
What?
Yeah. He was. I thought he was a leader.
He was
of
the main
that.
guy who leaked the photos.
No.
It was M. Night Shyamalan. He also made the Fappening. An apocalyptic threat to humanity arrives of the clear blue skies with a series of violent, inexplicable deaths spreading around the country. Yeah, they find like plants are like that's the twist is that plants are like eat or killing people.
That's a good message, I think.
Yeah,
We should be
Rated
taught
R.
to hate plants.
yeah. Kill them all.
Kill 'em all.
I think it's like a environment thing where like the plants are rebelling against the humans. We've taken too much.
Too many salads. We're eating too many
Too
salads.
many
That's the problem, not the carbon emissions.
Yeah.
It's eating too much
Here's the
salad.
problem.
much of our.
They're eating our salad.
They're eating the salads.
Have you ever had potato salad?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen you
bought
buy.
it with you.
What are you talking about?
What are you fucking?
Has our friendship meant nothing to you?
Remember we went and saw we saw it was Deadpool on the field. Mm-hmm. Oh, before we went to
You're
Walmart.
just eating potato salad.
Yeah, we went to Walmart. I think it was before because I think we left in my car. And later, I remember going back to my apartment and I was eating like straight from the container. You're like, is it good? I was like, that was only okay. It was
You're like,
fine.
it's okay. And you
was
kept
okay.
eating it. You're like,
Well, yeah, I had nothing else to eat.
it's true.
Well, once you get past the gag reflex, the whole world of possibilities open up.
Well,
So true.
usually potato salad's good.
That banana pudding we had that one time was really good. We went to Walmart, brought banana pudding back, and then I think we watched like The Force Awakens or something.
Good. Fucking good.
A good film.
Force has
Remember that
awakened.
time your roommate Zach walked in, and we were watching Furry Vengeance, and he was like, "What are you guys watching?" And you're like, "Men in Black."
That's what I told you. I said we're gonna watch Men in Black,
Yeah, it's true.
and I threw on Furry Vengeance. Great film.
Great film.
Probably top one.
Top film.
Best Brendan Fraser movie.
I like the part where he falls off the treadmill, like legitimately. That's
Or-
actually really good,
Or when
funny.
he pulls out the Wii.
I thought we were gonna play this. We should play this for the weekend. That's my impression of.
Guys.
I think he's a wonderful actor, but I'm doing his voice from The Whale. But like,
I just want to know.
I just want to play the Wii.
I've done something with my life.
My favorite part in that movie is when he opens the raccoon cage and he realizes that the raccoon's a mom. He goes, "You just wanted to protect your raccoon babies." You were just a mom. Like he realizes that creatures have babies. You just realized it.
Well, the whole movie, like, because they're like, it's not really like his fault that like he has to do this. Because I think it's like he has to like develop the area because of.
Isn't he like a real estate agent or something?
Yeah,
He's like trying to like get houses built in a certain area.
Yeah, and then
the animals rebel.
Yeah, and they just like absolutely just terrorize him. I honestly, it's unjust.
It is
he didn't
actually
even do
pretty
that
unjust.
much. It's not like he's like going out and like bulldozing the place. Like he's not going down with like a hammer and chopping down the trees himself.
Yeah, how do the animals know that he's the one that's orchestrating the construction?
Oh,
that's a good question.
I think they see his face on a flyer or something like that to show
Yeah.
like he's the real estate agent. Because it starts with, I think it's the guy that voices Joe Swanson, and it's like the animals like set up a trap to like knock his car off the road. And
Yeah, he
kill him.
dies.
Yeah, he dies.
The film,
car explodes.
the film starts with a death,
and they show him like his face burning, his flesh melting.
and like the car like is like a jar, the door is ajar and the wheel's still spinning at the cliff. You've seen Furry Vengeance before, right?
No.
They make a car fall off a cliff and the guy dies.
Yeah, he dies in. He's like,
It's a
"Kill
comedy.
me." Like he's burning to death. He's like, kill me, kill me.
End it here, end it
Please.
now.
End my suffering.
It was actually a scrap scene from the haunted house.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Furry Vengeance is a great film.
Yeah, probably number one.
I like the part where he wants his family to play the Wii, and they're like, "We hate you. We want you to die."
Yeah.
And
He's
because
not good
because he
enough,
was like late for dinner or something, and like they
well,
all
okay,
abandoned
well,
him.
the son's, I think it was for the son, but the son's pissed because he had to leave his friends to go to like a small school where he meets like the classic small city girl.
Yeah,
He falls in love
the
with.
girl who knows her.
Oh.
You know that girl from The Great Outdoors?
Yes.
Imagine a worse written version. Of that,
Oh, okay.
where she's like, "You don't know. I'll show you around. This is what we would do here." It's
Oh, I
like,
hate you. Oh, I hate you.
"I love you. I hate you." It's a great film. Great film.
Number one.
Honestly, actually, Furry Vengeance is better than Joker 2.
Get out.
And I hate Furry Vengeance.
What about Furry Vengeance or the live action Cat in the Hat?
Okay.
I love that movie.
Live act-
Unironically love that movie.
Live action Cat in the Hat, top
That's-
tier.
I think I'm a little biased because we used to watch it like a lot when we were little.
When I was younger, I was terrified of that movie. I wouldn't watch
Really?
it. That movie, any like the live action Grinch or any of those types of movies, I was terrified of.
You were scared by the prosthetics and
Yeah,
stuff?
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know why. There's a lot of stuff when I was a kid I was scared of. I was scared of Alf.
You're scared of Elf?
Alf.
Oh, I was thinking of Will
The
Ferrell.
Alf, the alien.
Oh yeah, with the pig nose, like
Yeah.
yeah. Well, there's a great reason to be. He a lot of his show is a lot of like hateful rhetoric and stuff
Yeah,
towards
a lot of Jewish people.
a lot of single families.
Arabs,
So yeah,
Chinese.
the Chinese in Chinese heaven.
Yeah.
So you're saying Joker 2 is better than that?
Joker 2 is better than Alf.
Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Wait, no, actually, Alf is better than Joker 2.
Okay.
Wait.
What is a better movie? The first Fred movie or
Fred?
Joker 2? Have you seen the Fred movies?
Yeah,
What's
I've seen
better?
bits and pieces.
The Fred movie, the Joker 2. Okay, I'll keep this a little easier or a little harder. Fred 2, Night of the Living Fred, or Joker 2.
It's all you. I've seen neither of them.
I'm gonna have to say the Fred movie because the whole time, like, you're watching Joker 2, you're like, it's gonna get better. You're in denial the whole time. Maybe that's on purpose. Maybe it's like teaching you about the stages of grief and stuff. Like you think it's gonna be a better movie, and then you hope and you go, oh, they made a reference to Harvey Dent. That okay? Oh, I know that one. Okay, we're getting good. We're getting good. Okay, there's like a rising. There's some suspense here. Like, what is he gonna do? What's real, what's not. Oh, and yep, and then it's over. So
And he poops on screen.
he poops on screen.
But what if you took Joker 2 and replaced Joaquin Phoenix with Fred Figglehorn?
Oh my gosh, I'm in jail. Oh my God. I'm in my pool. I'm in the front yard of my pool. Kevin. My dad's John Cena.
I can't find the first Fred movie online.
It's not like on YouTube.
No. It used to be on, I think, Amazon. The first two are free. I mean, 2 and 3 are free on YouTube, which, I mean, Camp 3, Fred 3, Camp Fred is classic, though. He goes to camp, I want a PP.
Oh.
We watched that. I think we watched that.
Did we?
That sounds.
I might have brought it up before. I think I might have showed you clips.
I think you showed me clips or something because we were watching it and it's about like how the counselor wants to date this one girl who's like another counselor or something, and then John Cena falls in. I think I've seen it. I don't know if you.
That's not what happens.
That's not what happens. I can't. I want a PP.
In Camp 3, Fred goes to camp and he thinks that the camp counselor is putting pills in the gruel so that kids' brains turn to cheese. So the camp counselor, who is actually secretly a rat, can eat their brains.
Absolute cinema.
It is. And it turns out that actually the kids who are all stereotypes of like, oh, here is like the fat one, here's the girl, here's the black one.
The girl.
They actually have a sick hideout where they play video games and eat cheese fries.
Cheese fries.
And then at the end, I think Fred sings and wins the camp games.
Oh.
You know, that movie was definitely inspired by Meatballs. Have you ever seen Meatballs with Bill Murray?
No.
It's like the original camp movie. Like kids go off to camp. It's about the counselors and like, you know, they have the rich camp, rival camp always cheats in the Olympic games, and so
But that's what happened. I think that's what's happened.
they cheat back.
In Camp Fred.
But it's inspired by Meatballs for sure. But there's like some parts of that movie that really don't age well. Like there's like the two, like there's like the nerd friend and his like the stereotypical nerdy friend with the glasses, and then there's the bigger kid next to him. And every time they encounter like a girl at all, the other guy's like, she's asking for it. She wants it. She's asking. Like he keeps saying like really.
Well, Alex, you still say that. You say that to me all the time.
Yeah, but we have a bond, you know.
You're
asking
that
for
makes
it.
it
The
good.
different thing is Alex says it to their face. So.
Yeah, I don't hide. I don't
He doesn't
hide.
hide.
Get slapped. But we have a bond.
But no, yeah. It's just a lot of stuff in that doesn't really age well. I mean, it's a funny movie at times, but it's just like so clearly a product of its time. But yeah, I think we've covered some good stuff here. I think we've understand religion, films, heaven.
Fred
Figglehorn.
Figglehorn, yeah.
That's a good name. And we'll be running a contest soon. So if anyone within the next 24 hours has a kid and you name them Fred Figglehorn, we'll give you $8,000. We need a picture of the birth certificate and the doctor
Yep.
and everything.
We need your social security number, your full legal ID, a 3D scan of your body, a 3D scan of the doctors who held the baby's body, what you ate in the past month and a half, and
Just like a CV and a resume.
yeah.
Because, you know, we kind of want to vet people.
Yeah.
We have a certain demographic we're going for, but we can't say that on paper, so.
Yeah. There's a lot of legal writing we'll put in the description.
Yeah. But thank you guys for watching. Brian, do you have anything to add?
And once you do all that, you'll receive the gift.